Democrats need to win 3, and Republicans need to find a way to win 3, right? In order to kind of upset the apple cart here of the balance. And the challenge with certainly Wisconsin and Pennsylvania is you're defending a seat. So if you lose there, it's even more of a shot across the bow. You'd like to win in Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia, but you're not flipping one there. They're just maintaining. We got to maintain in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. And right now, again, this is not us trying to be alarmist. The data out there favors the Democrats to be able to hold and expand potentially their majority. And remember, they don't have to, if everything stays the same, they win because they've still got Kamala who can break ties. I'm increasingly nervous about the Senate. All right. We know this bill, this $740 billion, got spent because Democrats are aware they're going to lose the House. I don't see any way that is in question. It's all about what kind of margin will Kevin McCarthy have as the new Speaker of the House. But the Senate, Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, we could lose all 5 of these. Like, we could. The odds are, I think, probably that we're going to get some form of a split. But all 5 of these states, if you're listening to us, and I know a lot of you are, in Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, this is of massive and critical importance. All 5 of these states. And we're going to talk with Herschel Walker at the top of the 3rd hour here. He is going up against the Reverend Raphael Warnock down in Georgia. Dr. Oz is scheduled to be on with us Friday on the program. He's going up against John Fetterman. We are going to have Senator Ron Johnson on with us from Wisconsin. We have him on regularly. I know you had Blake Masters on last week. He is the nominee now in Arizona. We've had Adam Laxalt in Nevada on a lot. We're going to do everything that we can in these battleground states to check the power of Joe Biden, the Democrats in the Senate.
Can we just remind everybody really quickly?
These are on a fine line now, what's going to happen there.
If they maintain the Senate, they're going to stack, because they're already obviously very worried about, and we'll talk about the Biden thing. I know, Clay, you're going to lead us in that in a second. But if they maintain the Senate, they're going to stack the judiciary with the most left-wing lunatics in the entire legal world they can possibly find. They're going to put true believer leftists in all the federal agencies that they can. And anybody who needs a confirmation. So even if the House is looking good, right? We want to wave, and we want that the House is still looking like 90%, I think, on Nate Silver's site. And he's usually likes to be accurate in the numbers. But on the Senate side, man, I'm with you. I'm worried. And they can do a lot of damage just with the Senate is my point. A lot of things can
gambling,
go wrong.
Buck, I love to gamble, and I pay a lot of attention to the gambling odds because people can put their money down in Europe on what's going to happen in individual races. Democrats are now favored to have control of the Senate. For the first time in 2022, in the last week, that flipped from a gambling perspective. Again, these are people putting their money down. Democrats are favored to have control of the Senate. You mentioned all the judiciary appointments. I would just point out, you never know when when a Supreme Court justice is going to have a health issue and suddenly be gone. I mean, we saw Ruth Bader Ginsburg. When you get into your 70s, and we hate that it happens, Antonin Scalia, I mean, these are situations that happen where nobody really foresees them. And then suddenly one of these guys or girls is gone. We've got Clarence Thomas is over 70. You've got, I believe, Alito over 70 now, if I'm not mistaken. The ability to put somebody on the Supreme Court over the next 2 years is going to turn on what the Senate looks like. And I think a lot of Republicans, they're out there. They know how bad the approval ratings are for Joe Biden. And there's been a sense of acceptance going on, Buck, where people just say, hey, you know what? We've got this. We don't need to worry about it. No. This is right now, the Republicans are the underdogs in the Senate.
Joe Biden is underwater. His polls are bad. And we've been talking about that a lot. But the candidate in the race really does matter. And that's true on our side, and it's true on the Democrat side. And, Mark Kelly, for example, Blake Masters is an impressive guy. Mark Kelly is the incumbent. He's a former astronaut. He's going to say the right things. I mean, I'm just saying it's not going to be a walk in the park, right? You look at Fetterman up in Pennsylvania. We're going to have Dr. Oz on the show later this week.
Fetterman is a complete clown, but he's got the establishment behind him.
He's got the entire Democrat machine behind him, and he presents as this everyman, blue-collar guy. He sort of looks like a guy who's working next to you at the steel mill, which in some parts of Pennsylvania plays really well. In reality, Mommy and Daddy were paying his bills.
He hadn't had a job in his 30s and 40s.
Okay,
yes.
That's in reality, he's a trust funder, but his whole, hey, I wear hoodies, and I'm like, just like you. But of course, he also is in favor of women competing on men's sports teams.
Yep.
And he says that fracking is a stain on the state of Pennsylvania. I mean, he's a left-wing guy. But if we don't run the right campaign, look, we shouldn't have lost 2 Senate seats in Georgia. That's right. I remember right after the Trump thing and the election, and everyone was all focused as the guys. We got to look at these 2 Senate seats in Georgia and have to get at least one. The fact that the GOP couldn't pull that off with the candidates we had then was a huge miss.
Yes.
A huge miss, because you see the damage that's being done right now. For all of our talk, we've been, for a year now, Biden's been trying to get through some agenda, a huge spending agenda, and all they did was pare it back a little bit. But essentially, they got a lot of what they wanted out of this one. It's just different dollar figures, and they'll push for more if they can get away with it. So, man, these candidates have got to really make a lot of noise. We're going to have Herschel on the 3rd hour today, Herschel Walker in Georgia. Critical. Warnock is doing well there. We are team reality here, right, Clay? Like, we tell everybody what's really going on, and I've been worried about this. Republicans, a month ago, it felt unstoppable. Now it's feeling like we got a lot of work to do on the Senate side, because old man Joe Biden, Democrats aren't voting on him. They don't care.
And they're not being tied to him very well yet. And to be fair, a lot of these candidates have had a lot of money being spent against them. We're going to get outspent. There's going to be a lot more money raised against Herschel Walker and against Dr. Oz and against Blake Masters and Adam Laxalt and all these guys and Ron Johnson in the five states that we think will decide the United States Senate. Democrats need to win 3, and Republicans need to find a way to win 3, right? In order to kind of upset the apple cart here of the balance. And the challenge with certainly Wisconsin and Pennsylvania is you're defending a seat. So if you lose there, it's even more of a shot across the bow. You'd like to win in Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia, but you're not flipping one there. They're just maintaining. We got to maintain in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. And right now, again, this is not us trying to be alarmist. The data out there favors the Democrats to be able to hold and expand potentially their majority. And remember, they don't have to, if everything stays the same, they win because they've still got Kamala who can break ties. And so far, by and large, Democrats have mostly been willing to stay together. Now, Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin have provided some sanity, but you just saw them spend almost $800 billion, and they're hiring 87,000 IRS agents, so you can't rely on them.
It's a little bit of a financial Mott and Bailey argument. It was, we got to spend $4 trillion. Really? After you've already spent $2 trillion, or they say it was $3.5 trillion. It's really more like $5 trillion. So the ask is so high that then when they finally get through what they want, it's only $700 billion. After the $2 trillion, that's a lot. $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there does start to feel like real money.
Add up.